I need to put it in? Only if there's an international...
Ladies and gentlemen, we continue with the press conference of Chelsea captain Reece James. We also have here at the head table the team media officer Charlie Long. The rules are the same. Please raise your hand, wait for the microphone, and don't forget to name yourself and the media outlet you're representing. And I'm passing the floor to Charlie to moderate the press conference.
We'll start in the middle with Elisabetta, second row.
Hi, Reece. Elisabetta Zampieri from Stats Perform. I have a question for you. You're a very young team playing a final against another very young team, but who have won recently the Champions League. How do you prepare for this game with a team that strong and so difficult to play against?
No, I think we prepare as if we were playing another game. It's a final, but no, we prepare every game as if we want to win.
Gentleman, full throw on the right.
Kyle Bauman, Sporting News, Reece over here. Appreciate your time. When you are playing out wide or in the middle against a team like PSG that loves to get forward, possess the ball in large amounts, how hard is it not to get pinned back as a team and assert yourselves too against a team that's so good in possession and so good at pressing?
To be honest, I can't really answer that. We haven't played against them yet. Now we're expecting a difficult game. You know, they are champions of Europe. And yeah, I think, you know, all we can do is prepare right and, you know, be ready.
Woman, full throw in the middle.
Hello, Reece James. My name is Kalista from Nigeria. With your experience as the captain of this Chelsea team, PSG has beaten every single Premier League team they've faced this year. What do you think you can say to your players, to the team, to be able to get past PSG?
No, I think, you know, this game is a super high-level game. You know, they are, you know, one of the hottest teams in the world at the moment. But, you know, this is a final. This is a one-off game. You know, everyone has them down as strong favourites. But, you know, I've been in many finals before where we've been favourites. And, you know, we haven't come out on top. So, you know, this doesn't mean too much to me. And I don't really care, to be honest, that, you know, everyone is bigging up, you know, our opposition. You know, we were preparing right, and, you know, we are going to win.
Gentleman in the blue T-shirt at the front.
Reece James, Pedro Cunha from Brazil. 32 clubs, 1 month in USA. For you, what is the biggest challenge to reaching the final?
I think the biggest challenge is the circumstances, you know, we're playing in, the travel, the quality of the pitches. You know, the climate is so hot. You know, no one in Europe is used to this heat. You know, playing at 3 o'clock in, you know, the hottest time of the day is super difficult for us to adapt.
Gentleman at the front.
Hello, Reece. It's João from Brazil. You just mentioned your about the heat. We know that you guys have been here for a month, and the heat hits for both teams. What do you think can change in such a big game when both teams are affected by extreme heat? Thank you.
I mean, it'll probably be, the game will be harder for the team that don't have the ball, because you'll be running a lot more. But no, as you said, you know, we are both playing in the same conditions. And yeah, I think we've played in it, you know, a fair amount now, so I'd say we're slowly getting used to it.
Woman second row in the white top.
Reece here, Morena Beltrán for ESPN Argentina. I wanted to ask you about Enzo Fernandez. You are both captains of the team, and I wanted to ask you, what do you think about him as a partner and what he makes on the pitch? Thank you.
No, Enzo Fernandez is you know, an amazing player, an amazing person, and you know, he's come on so much since he arrived at Chelsea. You know, he's a huge part, you know, of Chelsea Football Club, and you know, a huge player for our team, and you know, he'll play a big part on Sunday.
Christian at the very back.
Hi, here at the back, Christian Martin with live for the whole of Latin America with these sports. I wanted to ask you about you we saw you, struggling with an injury. If he's that fully recovered, and the meaning of having Moises back, in that engine in midfield, which proved to be great during the season, and his partnership with Enzo, not just referring to the previous question, not just Enzo, but the partnership, two guys complementing each other, doing so well for so long ahead of the final. Thanks.
No, just to clear, I wasn't injured, so let's put that to bed. And, talking about our two midfielders, Enzo and Moy, two phenomenal players. They are definitely up there with, the best midfielders in the world, and I think that will be displayed on Sunday.
Gentleman in the structure.
This is John Jackson from Tanzania. My question to you is, if you guys happen to win against PSG on a final on Sunday, would you consider Chelsea as the biggest team, toughest team, great team in the world after winning this title?
Oh, I think that's a big statement. If we win on Sunday, we were probably the best team on the day. Does it make us the best team, in Europe? I'm not sure. We're striving to get there. Whether one game decides that, I don't know. It's probably up to you to decide.
Go to Peter in the sixth row.
Hi, Reece. Peter Rutzler from The Times. I just wanted to follow up when you said you weren't injured. When you pulled out of the warm-up, I think it was Palmeiras, what happened in that moment?
No, I wasn't feeling so good in the warm-up. I've come a long way, with my history. And could I have played? I probably could have played, but, if something happened in that game, then I probably would have looked back and thought, I had a warning. Why did I not listen? I thought it was the best decision, not to take unnecessary risk and, be available because, I believed, and thankfully we won that game.
Gentleman with a cap in the middle.
Hi, here.
Hello.
Walid Al-Hadidi from 365 Scores. Last season and in this tournament, PSG defeated all English clubs. So in next match in the final, Chelsea will be different, will be a harder team against PSG, who has a good luck really against all English teams?
Yeah, I think, as you said, they've beaten, all the English teams so far they've come up against. We're expecting, a tough game, don't get me wrong. They are an amazing team. But yeah, we have also an amazing team, and I think, we will surprise a lot of people. We've come a long way from our journey, when it started. And we are looking forward to Sunday.
Gentleman in the
Hello, Reece. Good afternoon. Marcelo Correggio from TV Globo Brazil. I would like to know if you can relate somehow these days before the final match against PSG to those days in 2021 before the final match against Man City, when people were, choosing them as favorites, and you guys somehow did the opposite on the pitch.
No, I think, as I said earlier, stats and data and favorite, not favorite, it doesn't mean anything to me. It doesn't mean anything to our team. There's something that makes other people happy. There's two great young sides, playing against each other, on the biggest stage. I believe we're going to go toe to toe. And
Gentleman in the white
Reece
t-shirt.
here, Rodrigo Fragoso from TNT Sports Brazil. Reece, the only club who beat PSG in this tournament, it was Botafogo from Brazil. And the coach, Luis Henrique, said after the match that Botafogo was the best team in strategy, talking about defensive things against PSG on all the season. Do you think that you can take something from the Botafogo strategy to use in that final, or are different things?
No, I think for sure you have to look at the games where, they've probably been defeated or haven't performed so well. I'm not going to say, we're going to play the way they played, but for sure, the analyst team will look at the games that, they've found more difficult, and we will try and adapt.
Woman third row in the middle, please.
Godspa from Nigeria. I want to ask you about your teammate, Joao Pedro. What difference has he brought to the team right now? And how do you think he'd be able to conquer PSG on Sunday?
No, I think, Joao is an amazing young player. I've played against him many times. And, I'm not sure how many people knew his quality, but I think, he made his first start the other day and he scored 2 goals. And, I think his quality has opened, a lot of people's eyes. And, he's an amazing young player and we're happy to have him here.
Okay, final question, gentleman in the blue polo.
Hi, Reece. Your match on Sunday is exactly the same time kickoff as England's Women's Euros team. I'm wondering who your family watches with those identical kickoff times.
No, I think they'll both be, they'll be watching both at the same time probably. One on the TV, one on the iPad.
How tough will it be for family when that happens to decide? How special a family day is it when something like this happens? Because it's pretty cool.
I mean, it's special, but, it will be more special, depending on results. And yeah.
Okay, we'll end it there. Thank you, everyone.